And the New York State Leadership Council is the first undocumented youth-led organization working to empower immigrants and provide a safe space for self-expression. We are joined today by Diana Eusebio, one of the youngest members and leaders, and Razeen Zaman, which is the advocacy coordinator, to discuss the Youth Leadership Council and their work towards getting the DREAM Act passed. And thank you, ladies, for coming and sharing.
Thank you for having us.
For people who are not familiar with the DREAM Act, let's assume, that's rule number one of journalism, assume your audience knows nothing. Please let people know what the DREAM Act is.
The New York DREAM Act is a bill right now that just passed the Assembly of the New York State, and if it becomes a law, it would allow undocumented students such as myself to apply for tuition assistance program in the state of New York, and who already qualify for in-state tuition. So it would allow undocumented students to apply.
So you guys are doing some things about getting the word out and spreading the word. Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. Well, I'll go back to the bill a little bit. As an organization, there's two forms of the DREAM Act. There's the Federal DREAM Act, which was started in 2001. That bill directly affects, it would change the status of undocumented immigrant students. Why is citizenship so important for undocumented immigrants? Because without citizenship, you can't access, a decent quality of life that everybody needs to live here. For instance, for a long while, we weren't able to access driver's licenses, health insurance, work permits, the little things that you need to live any kind of quality of life. That bill that would actually create a pathway to citizenship for us, it was introduced in 2001 and Congress has failed every single year. So it's a 12-year-old bill at this point. In 2011, in 2010, when the bill finally failed for, I guess, like the final time, we were really tired. And then we said, well, why don't we do the same thing in New York State that would be done in Washington, D.C., so we came up with the New York State DREAM Act. And really, this bill was started by undocumented immigrant youth who had come up with this bill. They went to Albany with this idea, had lawyers craft the bill, go up to state legislators and say, well, can you introduce my bill that would affect my life? So they were the ones who were doing the lobbying, right? We went to New York City, got legislators to sign on to the bill. We did town halls, we did educational forums, we did insane things like actually walk 150 miles on foot from New York City to all the way up to Albany, just to promote the bill, go up to areas like Rockland County, Ulster County, where there isn't so much support, and put a human face to the issue.
Mm-hmm. And there you got a whole lot of support as well. I want to talk a little bit about the myths here, because there's some myths that are associated with it, and give you the opportunity to break some of these down. Myth number one talks about this bill would actually provide an incentive for people to come here illegally. And Diana, you said what?
I say no, because this is for people who have already been in the state of New York, for students who graduated from a high school and who attended 2 years of high school here, I believe. So it's a bill that is for the people who are kind of already here, are already here. So it wouldn't bring people.
Okay, speak to this myth about it being what we call a financial burden on state taxpayers and those involved in the state educational systems, because a lot of people say, oh, this is going to put more money on those of us who are taxpayers and more money right there with those people who are engaged right now in education. What do you say?
So there's this really good quote that says, like, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. And I think that precisely, says a lot about the New York State DREAM Act. The truth is that we're already educating undocumented immigrant youth from kindergarten to 12th grade through law. There's a 1982 Supreme Court case, Plyler versus Doe, that the ruling of the case is that all children, regardless of immigration status, are entitled to a free kindergarten to 12th grade education. So that's taxpayer money funding undocumented students. At 12th grade, after they're done with high school, it makes no sense to stop funding undocumented youth just at the brink when they're able to go to college, because college graduates pay about $4,000 more in taxes than high school graduates pay. So that's tax money that's going to go back into New York State. These youth are at the brink of, developing careers that are going to bring New York really into the 21st century.
Yeah, but then you have these people who say, okay, you're going to lose some college spots, and New York is going to lose college spots based on the fact of the DREAM Act. And so
that's actually absolutely false also, because TAP, the tuition assistance program, which is New York State's financial aid program for college students, is an entitlement program. That means if you qualify for the program, and you apply, you also receive financial aid. That's what it means. No citizens will be cut out of the state financial aid program if financial aid was opened up to undocumented youth. That's the definition of an entitlement program.
And how do you answer the critics who say, listen, this is just nothing more than a way to reward people who've been here, came here illegally, and live here illegally?
Well, I've been here since the age of 6. I came here because I came here with my father and my 2 older brothers. Currently, I'm the only one in school. I'm still in high school, and it's not rewarding. It's doing the right thing because I've been working hard. I know there's thousands of undocumented students throughout New York State who also been working hard, and this is better for, I believe, the New York State, because it gives me hope that I should do better. I have to do better, and if I do better and do the best I can as anyone else, as any other peers, that I will get some help at the end of the day, and that's good, because I believe if I feel like I have a chance to go to college and attend college, then I will do so much better. This creates hope. This is better than having students drop out because they don't see that. So for me, it's.
So where do things stand now, and what are you guys up to?
So as Diana mentioned before, the bill just passed the New York State Assembly, so it passed one house. So in order for it to become a law, it has to pass the New York State Senate, and Governor Cuomo has to sign it, right? So one of the keys to passing the bill is actually getting Senator Jeffrey Klein in the Bronx to co-sponsor and actually bring up the bill up for a vote along with Senator Scalos. So that's what we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of advocacy in the Bronx, and truth be told, Bronx residents are for the bill. So if Jeffrey Klein is, honestly, representing his constituents, I think, it would be fair to bring up the bill for a vote. I do believe we do have the votes to pass it.
So your message on today's show is try to get Mr. Klein to go ahead and put the bill on the floor.
Right. I mean, I think, as Diana mentioned, it is the right thing to do. This bill, I hope people understand, the federal bill does change your immigration status, but the New York State version of the bill is just opens up access to financial aid to undocumented immigrant youth. So it has nothing to do with your immigration status at all. It's purely an educational issue. If you support New York becoming a more educated state, developing just creating a more educated workplace also, right? Then you support the New York State DREAM Act, and then you call your local legislators like Jeffrey Klein and you ask them to bring it up for a vote. This isn't a huge, this is a small piece of the pie when you think about the whole comprehensive immigration reform debate.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming to share. Of course, we too will follow this story. You've said you're looking for Assemblyman Jeff Klein or State Senator Jeff Klein to do that. We're going to see how this works out, and we'll continue to bring our voters up, or voters and viewers up to speed.
Sure.